We are live in the backseat of Sheriff Scott Rigglesworth's cruiser right now, and we actually just pulled someone over. Mel Jorma, I did just speak with the fire marshal who told me that at least 2 people have died and others were injured in this fire. This is a very different scene than what we're used to here at Roma Bakery. The shelves are empty, the front cases are empty, there's only a little bit left. Mayna, you're here with me this morning. How are you feeling? It's the last day for Roma Bakery. Take a look at all this ice buildup on the outside. It's actually pretty hard. We start this morning with breaking news. Overnight, several shots were fired in the 2400 block of Brayburn Drive in Lansing just after 2 o'clock this morning. 50 actors who will be here just in one weekend. A lot. Too many for my liking.
On the center of the chest.
Okay. Just like this?
Yes.
You want to make sure that you have smoke detectors in your home, and we're giving them away today for free. So if you guys have any questions fire related, make sure to ask them here right now. I mean, you've got a firefighter who can answer your questions.
They tell me that a male victim is recovering this morning after being shot multiple times. This is the area where kayakers were just minding their own business when they came across a body and called 911. We're raising money for the Salvation Army. So tell us, who are the families that this money is going to help? Just last week, I posted this video to my Facebook page showing just how many people chose to drive through high water on the road. This is really a long time coming, a chance for President Stanley to meet with survivors to have an open conversation. There are 13 million children in the United States living in poverty, and here in Michigan, there are 419,000 of them. Council members in Charlotte will meet on Monday to discuss a possible tax increase. City officials say the money would go to the police department and retiree health care. I just opened I think last week, right?
Wednesday.
We got Stephanie with us this morning, so she's going to show some things we can do at home to get ready for the holidays. This is my favorite part of the show, the pet of the day. Today we have Zorro.
Good. Chew, hug, and chew.
Yes,
Fantastic.
I think I am a pro. Oh, yes, okay. Woo, this is easy. One of the nation's largest fast food chains is serving up something new. I don't even like riding my bike down the street.
I'm kind of with you on that, but there's so many people who bike at the station.
It
so we'll
hurts your butt. I'm just saying.
Well, I can't even follow that up.
Mel Jorma, good morning. Well, haircuts aren't always the most exciting for kids, and for parents we talk to who have children with sensory sensitivities, haircuts can be almost impossible to get done because of all the new noises and different feelings. This new salon is hoping to change that. Getting a haircut is simple for most, but for others like Dominic Blatnick and his mother, it's a challenging task.
Dominic, he was diagnosed with autism when he was 2.5, then ADHD, generalized anxiety disorder at 3, and then epilepsy 4 years ago.
Kathy Blatnick says her son has sensitivity to light and sound, meaning even a loud pair of clippers can overwhelm him.
He's had 10 seizures because of different, changes in his routine or going, just anything that's really loud kind of makes him kind of shut down and not cooperate.
After years of at-home haircuts, Kathy says it's a place like H&M Clubhouse she's been longing for.
I'm gonna put a washcloth on your forehead, okay?
Owner Kelsey Simpson says she opened the salon after realizing how scary haircuts can be for children.
Some stylists just dive right in and start cutting, whereas I try to introduce them to the clipper. I'll touch their arm or say, here, feel it.
While the child-themed hair salon offers services to all kids, it specializes in working with autistic children or those with special needs, offering private services, quiet noises, even dim lighting to make clients, like Dominic, feel more comfortable.
It's really hard to say, really to find a word to explain, and I think it's fabulous.
If you'd like to learn more information about H&M Clubhouse, you can head over to our website, WLNS.com, and click the CNN 6 icon. There's a link for you there. Just 24 hours after the last round of seeds went in the dirt, Robert Reese's field started to look more like a lake.
It must have rained pretty hard for a while.
This isn't the first time he's said those words this season. In fact, almost every day he says he wakes up to find more water on his field, putting him, planting-wise, more than a month behind. And he's not alone.
We worked 3 very long days and got actually about half our corn in during that time frame. And so There's a lot of people that didn't turn a wheel until June.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, there were only 2.5 days in May suitable for planting in Michigan, a state where farmers say corn contributes roughly $2 billion to the economy.
Every bag plants 2 acres of corn, a little 2.5 acres of corn. And so this is all, some is extra inventory, some is that we did not get in the ground. And then this does not include starting to get returns from all my customers. The
USDA says this season only 33% of the corn had been planted as of early June. That's compared to the 5-year average of 73% at the same time.
Talked to several friends that have, 80-year-old grandpas, and they've never seen a spring like this.
With oversupply having sent prices down in recent years and a trade war with China, it may mean higher prices for consumers when the crop comes to harvest. For Reese, he says he's opted in for crop insurance, something farmers pick in early March before the season really begins. So he hopes and prays his crops will make it through.
It will be interesting this fall of how much crops are there to sell, of will there be a shortage, will we have enough? Prices could go up in the fall. You don't know at this point.
Let's go for a ride.
It's 3:55 a.m. Holt's Superintendent David Hornak is bundled up and on the road with an important decision to make.
Right now, if it just stays snow and we get 2 inches, we'll probably be in session.
He says calling to cancel school isn't easy. Why he, along with other superintendents, test the roads out before parents, staff, bus drivers, and students have to.
Good morning, Dory. How are you?
There's probably an inch or 2 of snow. I haven't found any spots of ice, which is good.
Hornak says he's testing for traction, searching for salt trucks, and scanning sidewalks to see how easily students who walk can get to school.
So we have lots of moving parts that we have to be aware of, and all have some complication.
And it's not just about risking safety on the way there. Hornak says he's also thinking about how students will get home after school.
I'm starting to slide through intersections. How about you?
Well, I'm on a north-south road right now, and it's nasty. Wind is snowing and blowing. Visibility's a challenge.
We could open and take a chance, but then at dismissal, what would we end up with? And I just think it's too dangerous for our walkers.
A lot of concern for student safety and for overall safety for staff as well.
In just an hour and a half, Hornak got 6 phone calls from nearby superintendents and Holt's transportation director, all touching base.
I've got 30 messages in the app.
By calls and texts to share their final decision.
I will text back in the app that we will cancel school today.
A responsibility these superintendents say they hope parents will understand is taken seriously. One by one, apples are picked and thousands end up here on a giant conveyor belt to be turned into another fall treat.
We separate them by size, so we use the smaller apples, which still taste good, they're just not big enough to eat. Then we use those for making cider.
Steve Tennis is the owner of Country Mill Farms in Charlotte. Between giving student tours, he's also creating gallons of apple cider 2 or 3 times a week.
We take the small apples, we chop them up, and we literally squeeze them at about 80 pounds of pressure per square inch.
Tennis says a cloth creates a barrier for seeds, only allowing liquid to pass through.
And literally the cider comes right out of the chopped apples.
That cider then heads upstairs for UV light treatment to kill harmful bacteria that may be present. It's stored at temperatures around 30 degrees until ready to be bottled. The leftovers, Tennis says, will go to the animals. And the hardest part, the cleanup.
Just like at home when you make a big meal, then you got to clean up. And so that's at the end of the day. That usually takes about 3 hours, regardless of how long you press cider for.
All right, Mel Drum, I also learned that it takes about 40 seconds for this one apple to be pressed into this.